All right, so today I'm going to demonstrate a Williams Bluebird 2 machine. There's two different types of Williams Bluebird 2 machines. There's one, a regular Bluebird 2 machine that's going to have a video monitor here and a video monitor here. It's typically going to be your normal Bluebird 2 machine. Then you're going to have a Bluebird 2 machine that's going to have physical reels here with a pull handle, and it typically is going to have a screen, just like this up top. The screen up top is non-touch. The screen here is touch. It's a 22-inch monitor and with a touch screen. So, inside the machine here, you can have several different types of printers and several different types of bill acceptors. Typically for home sales, you're going to see what's called an MEI bill acceptor in your machine. This is not an MEI bill acceptor. This is a UBA-10. A UBA-10 bill acceptor can be used for home sales, but they can also be used to program for international currency. This is a Gen 2 universal printer. As you see, it's maroon. That is a Gen 2 RS-232 printer. On your Williams machines, you're typically going to have a Gen 2 RS-232 printer. It's going to be either maroon or purple. You also may have an Ithaca 950 printer in there. Those printers are blue. Next, you have your Bluebird 2 CPU. This is what a Bluebird 2 CPU looks like. As you can see on a Bluebird 2 CPU, it has this scan disk here. That's how you know it's a Bluebird 2 CPU. This is where your game cards go on your CPU. You have your OS and you have your game card. This is how you can clear the machine or swap games. On this type of machine, the Bluebird 2, this is where your cash box is. You pull it out. This opens up. You get your money out of it. You put the money back into the machine. You will hear it cycle. That means the cash box is in there correctly. Another thing, you may have gotten your machine set up for hand pay, and you still may have a printer in your machine. If the machine was set up for hand pay, what you do is when you hit the collect ticket button, it's going to say call attendant $200 or however much cash is in there. You're going to have a reset key, which is a brass key, which I don't have in my hand. It is going to go on the side of the machine right here. All you do is you take the key and you turn it, and it clears the credits. Now, if you have a ticket printer, the ticket printer is going to print a ticket here. And it's going to come out, it's going to say $100 or whatever. If you do not have a TITO system installed into your machine, that ticket printer will not go back into the machine if you have home sales, if you're a home user, okay? Unless you have ordered a TITO device. The TITO device is a device that tricks the bill acceptor into taking the ticket. The reason that they don't take tickets is because they have to be hooked up to an internal server that they have at the casinos. So when we get the machines from the casinos, obviously they don't have all those components that they do at the casinos. They've got 1,000 machines hooked up to the server that calculates all the money that runs through. So that is disabled. So that if you don't have a TITO, it's going to print a ticket and it's going to be useless. Now, next is your button panel. You have two different types of button panels on a Bluebird 2. This is what's called a OLED Bluebird 2. This is a splash button panel. Now, a splash button panel is going to feel rubbery on the buttons, okay? It's going to feel rubbery. And what's nice about the OLED panels is that if you change game or you change the settings in your machine, the denominations and the credits down here are going to change with it. So for example, this says play 250 credits. This means this is a $2.50 machine, $2.50 machine max bet because you're playing 1 cent. Now if I change the denomination to 2 cents, see if it changes. It's still 250 credits. This does not change. So you would multiply that 2 cents times 250 credits would give you a $5 max bet. Now, if you make this a different game, let's say you make this Little Red or Zeus, and it has different payout schedules. What's nice about this button panel is that it will automatically match up with the game. So if it's a 400 credit max bet machine, it's going to say 400 credits here, and then it might say 300. I'm just making the numbers up now. 150, blah blah blah. It will automatically change here. Here's the advantage of that. That is the advantage of having this nice button panel. If you want to go a cheaper route, this is what's called a static button panel. Okay? If you see, this is like physical inserts in this machine. So on this type of game here, this is just to give you an example, static button panels. So if I change the game in this machine and the lines are different, because each game has different lines and bets, okay? You physically have to go in here and you have to make the inserts different on here. Keep it down. As on this Bluebird 2 here, okay? This is a Bluebird 2 here with a static button panel. The physical buttons would have to be changed if you change a game. So this particular game here is a 40 line by 5. So that would be 200 max bet. So if you put this game in this machine with this type of panel, it's going to sense it and it's going to make the max bet 200 here on this end. Okay? So again, when you get your machine, make sure this is your power supply right here. This is where it plugs in. Make sure this is tight all the way down here. Run it. There's a hole in the back. You can run the cord through the back, and then the on and off switch is right here. Give it about 4 or 5 minutes to load up, as it's going to take some time. Leave the machines on at all time. They're designed to stay on that way, and that's really about it. So this is a Bluebird 2 and some of the different parts. And hopefully, like I said, if you guys have any questions, you can text us or call us.